This is a video demonstration of our LX Series H264 professional DVR. I'm logging in right now to the web server externally, and you'll see here that it is actually very easy to log in. Just put in your username and password. There's no client software needed. I'm logging directly into the web server. I do want to point out that I'm recording this using some software, and it does use a lot of resources on my system, so you may see some glitches as new screens are popping up. That has nothing to do with the DVR. That's actually the software that I'm using to record. Now right now I'm logged into a 16-channel DVR. This web server that is built into these LX Series DVRs will actually allow you to connect up to 4 additional DVRs at one time and view up to 64 cameras. That is a real impressive feature that I have not seen available on any other DVR on the market. Client software is also available and comes included with the DVR. The client software is a professional enterprise level software. This particular software will allow you to connect to an unlimited number of DVRs and an unlimited number of cameras, and would generally be used by either a monitoring station or a guard station. It allows for 3D mapping functions that allow you to drill down through the maps to the individual locations that have cameras. It's a very sophisticated piece of software. Now in this case, we're logged into the web server. The web server is a very simple interface, and it's something that your customers will really enjoy using. It's probably the simplest interface I've seen out there. At the moment, we're viewing 16 cameras, and you'll notice all the controls that you need are right there up front. This unit is streaming an H264 compression, which allows for much more efficient use of bandwidth and storage as well. And in this case, you can see all 16 cameras very clearly. I'd like to point out that we are actually connected right now to 2 separate DVRs. As you can see right here, there's 2 DVRs that we are connected to, and I'm going to go ahead and show you all. It's actually 31 cameras now that we have up here, and I'm going to go, into the 64 camera view and show you the 64 camera view. This is just one of the most impressive features that are out there. You can have your home, your business, an additional business, up to 4 DVRs set up and view all their cameras at one time, which is really impressive. Now in this case, you'll see these cameras are all popping up. It only takes a few seconds for them to pop up. And then if you want to see any camera individually, you can do so in one of several ways. Option 1, you can go ahead and click on one screen and tell it that you want to see a single camera view. And that's what I'm doing right here, a single camera view. And then option 2, you can go ahead and actually select the camera that you want to view and just right click to choose the camera. So right now I have chosen to view one of our PTZs because I wanted to point out how simple our PTZ interface is. The PTZ controller is actually built right onto the web server. You don't have to right click or left click any other buttons in order to access the controller. And then it's just simple clicks of the mouse from right here. Very intuitive in order to control your PTZ. So I think that's a feature your customers will really like as well. I want to point out some of the other features that are available right when you log in. Obviously you can view 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, or 64 cameras at one time. You can control what sequence the cameras are coming up in. In other words, you may want to time it so that each camera pops up for 5 seconds, or you may want to set it to every time there's motion detected at a certain camera, that gets priority and comes up first. You can choose to take snapshots of your cameras. You can choose to listen and speak through your audio right through this unit, so you can do 2-way audio through the unit. If you wanted to connect to, let's say, an employee who is in a stock room and you wanted to connect and speak to him, you can do that right through this unit. In addition, you can connect to each individual DVR individually rather than as a group. Also, you can search by time, and you can search for different events by time, or you can do playback searches by event. And you'll notice all the events are here for motion and playback searches. One of the other really nice features about this unit is the fact that you can configure your entire DVR right through the web server. And when I say configure your DVR, I mean you can configure every single option that's on that DVR, which is really an impressive feature. It's actually easier to configure a DVR through the web server. As you'll see right here, it's just laid out very simply to control. You can access all the cameras. You can actually label all your cameras, set all your separate configuration for each camera. You can set all your motion settings and your triggers and your video loss triggers, here's your alarm triggers, your sequence displays, your recording schedule, all of your hard drive configurations, whether you want it to overwrite, whether you want it to notify you when the hard drive is full. What I really want to point out is the email client. I'd say more than half of the DVRs out there that say that they have a functioning email client, either it doesn't function, or B, it requires the use of an Exchange server in order to function, and unfortunately most businesses and residents these days do not have their own Exchange server. They use something like Yahoo or a server located at GoDaddy. With our DVR, the LX series, you do not need an Exchange server, and the email client works perfectly. You can set up email triggers for any event whatsoever on this unit. That includes alarm triggers, motion triggers, hard drive triggers, video loss triggers. In addition to that, you can have it attached to it an image that it will email to the customer. So for example, if you were to set up motion at a gun cabinet in somebody's house and set it up to trigger motion for an email to the customer, when that email arrives at the customer's cell phone or on their computer, they can actually see an image of who it was that created that event. So that's another really nice feature that's available. So bottom line is, this web server is extremely easy to operate, it's seamless, it's feature rich, and using H.264 compression provides very efficient bandwidth use, which means you can actually use and view 64 cameras at one time that normally could not be done on other units.